66. And what we're gonna do now is carry on. We'll be fighting dinosaurs, Doom games. Alright, but what we're actually doing is getting ready to go and fetch Locke, right? Now, what can we do to get ready for that? Well, we just need to make sure... Alright, let's theorize the parties real quick, right? So we've got the party that we've got right now. And then we'll have... You know, so... You could roll this party, or, like, Gogo here. And then, for our fourth one, we take, like, the Cyan. This is fine. Yeah, this would be a fine one. So we just need to make sure that we've got, you know, enough gear for everybody. It doesn't have to be the craziest setup, right? But we do have to have, you know, gear enough. And we'll just go... Because really, one really important thing is that we want to make sure that we get enough Hermes boots for the haste. It's super important for how things are. Where do we buy those? Like, South Figaro, maybe? Sounds kind of right. There's plenty of other stuff we need, of course. We've got to get plenty of shuriken. Man, I love the South Figaro theme. Yes. And we're just gonna pop to all of them. Do we need zombie prevention? I mean, maybe. I bet we can just wing it. I feel like haste is, broadly speaking, more important than anything else. After all, with haste you can do anything. Also, it stops you from being, you know, slowed, which is very important. So that's good, and now we just need to hit up the old item shop. And this guy, like, is being a ladder for somebody, which is just, like, not an efficient way to do carpentry work. I mean, far be it for me to tell them how to live their lives, but there's got to be a better way. Tank a ton of shots. We'll have Celis. We'll throw Mystery Veil on her, yeah, and she'll be very evasive at least. Not like realm levels, but hey, what are you gonna do? And then he'll have the big tankiness from the Genji helm and all there, and that's good. This is all fine. How does he not have the regal? Sabin's wearing the crown. We'll put the mask on him because it's excellent, right? And then the crown for Edgar. Even though, honestly, Circlet feels better in a lot of ways. Is it worth drawing 3 mana? I mean, yeah, it's probably fine. Anyway, we've still got plenty of money. One diamond shield and we won't. There we go. Boom. Very nice. And yeah, you know, we're ready-ish for it. Ready as we'll be. Just need to hit up the item shop real quick and not talk to that kid. He'll be like, my grandfather's a server for this man in town. No, this is the different kid. If the light of judgment burns our town 100 times, we'll rebuild it 200 times. Wait, does that even make sense? Yes, it does. You will build a town on top of that town, and on top of that town, and you will call that town Midgard. Now we just need to get a whole bunch of shuriken, and we'll be ready to roll. It's like, where do you buy shuriken? Is it here? You can buy them in a few places. I feel like it's not here because we came here to try to buy them before and it wasn't here. Yes. Anything else we need to get though here? Nah. Tomasa for it. Feels like I remember that happening. Anyway, we're gonna go to where the mountains form a star in due course. That's not how to land. But before a big trip, you gotta make sure you're ready. And also, this is gonna help for the next phase of the game. You know, we don't have to do another party split until Kefka's Tower, but this is a really good way of seeing, you know, like... how close you are to being able to do anything productive on that front. Which, we're not gonna go to the tower until we do everything. Right, there's not that much everything to do, honestly. You know, there's another handful of things to do after this, and they're all very fulfilling. We're not gonna get, like, every rage and do all of that. That's not what I mean, you know, but... Alright, we're going in! This feels pretty good. You know, you have 2 nuke magic users, and then, like, both your single target, but actually, I feel like this is real solid, too, because we have ultra-reliable damage out of Sabin. And then Gogo, so, like, yeah, you know. This is the general party looking, you know, for this. We could break up Terra and Celis, but Realm is, like, they're equal, basically. And, so, by putting them in this party and this one, that'll be good. Alright, let us proceed. This is one of my favorite parts of the game. I love the party splits. I wish there were a couple more of them, honestly. But I know why we have to save them. Sail button to switch between the two parties. Yes, so we're here in the Phoenix Cave now. Great music. And of course, we are all wearing things. We all got our hasty boots on. Faces on, no! $1K needles, which does 1K damage. Whoops. Well, I guess Runic here isn't terrible if it hits 1K needles, which I think it should. Nope, it doesn't. 1,000 needles just hits you for 1,000, right? Rough stuff. So the answer, of course, is to be more careful. Heh. Stab. That's right, we haven't even let them in. Haven't even let them in. Silliness. Cyan coming in for the big damage, and then, you know, we don't want to spend too much MP on these, but, you know, you gotta spend some type of thing. Alright, we have to get them up as well. And I accidentally cast into a runic here. You know, I meant to do the runic, I just didn't mean to cast into it. and now here we have to go this way. Like, which was the one that did the damage? Was it ice? Yes. Celis gets axed by the 1K needles, but that's okay. We're just gonna come in and finish it off afterwards. Of course, the experience gets distributed to the living people, so although it's bad for the person who has fallen, of course, you know, on balance, it's all the same, right? Wing Edge, now this is a swing from the back item, right? Yes. What we were supposed to do, rather than fall in, now we need to go and let them in, which is like to the right, you know, pretty silly stuff. We're gonna runic here to try to just, you know, soak up some MP, doesn't hurt. Whoops. Well, you know, this trance is fine. I didn't mean to do it, but we'll charge another one before we need it. Hits us with the double gravity. He masters that. We'll get him Kadobla Pa. You know, poison's a somewhat underrated thing. And of course, with runics, she charges up MP to be able to heal. It's just another nice thing about our girl Celis. Alright, now it's time for this party to roll in. This party, of course, is pretty juiced. So are we all. But yes. Now that we've gone the far way. Alright, now what we want to do here is pop him first, so that's what we'll do. Because 1K Needles is such a killer. The gravity's a killer too, but you know. Misses with his umbrella, Ella. And they hit us all with the Graviga, which is just an outrageous move, right? It's super outrageous. And we die. I think we're getting a wipe right here. You know, it's gonna be close. It just depends on whether or not they hit us, right? Very, very sketchy. Yeesh. It's so... What a nail biter. With haste, we might be able... Like, we need a block, right? There we go. Yeesh. And we get Edgar up in time. Alright, now we're in business again. That was super close. Hyper dangerous mob pack, right? But this is like the weaker party, right? Also, because we're not, you know, using magic as much as we should. Because I'm trying to conserve it, which probably isn't that necessary. But the other party is a lot punchier, but that was still so close. But they all get a level, they all get it done. I don't think the dino's that dangerous here. I think this mob pack is like a normal one, right? The one we were fighting earlier with the double necromancer, it's super dangerous because like a party-wide percentile damage. You know, Graviga's really rough. This army's moderately evasive, but not like, we don't have like a hyper-evasive Curse of like realm in it. Oh, we just... It's not the way I was... Anyway, we went backwards. Spy work well on these people. Let's see. Nope. Heals them. Great. I assume it does work pretty well on the ladies, though. Yeah, bio definitely good against them. Coming in here. Flurry's super good. You used to have to, like, wait a while for it. Sword Tech, as it was called, wasn't nearly as good as Bushido is now. They poisoned me, I will poison you! But of course, the great difficulty in this place is that if you take the wrong step, you know, then you get a little lost, as I've done twice. And it really rolls through your resources, right? Alright, how did we... I've totally forgotten how we did everything here. I've been here before. And then they caught us in between runics, as happens. I think it took a bio tick in the middle of getting hit by the sword there, so that's pretty fun. Oh, right, this way. Jeez. You know, it's not that many steps to get from here to here, but man, did I make it take a lot. Alright, and here we get a dramatically stronger crew, right? Oh no! Oh, that's bad. Alright, so they are... You know, I don't know what's gonna happen now. Savin's confused, that sort of throws the whole thing out. Realm is stronger as a mage than anybody else is at this point. But at least we deal with that guy. This party is a lot stronger than the other one, you know. They'd be dead already if it weren't for these meddling kids. Because really just Shadow's super good. Oh, how could you, Sabin? You took 0 MP away. And she's not even cheesing the magic points, you know? She needs them. But she's already super low on MP because we used a bunch. We also might not have had her in good shape before we came here, so we'll see though. Roll on here. Empty? You know, that'll be a theme. But of course, once you, oh no, not the zombie stick! Like, yeah, their gear is all, like, perfect. Or relatively perfect. So I'd love to take the Magus Rod away here, but we don't have a replacement. And put it on Gogo, that would be super good. The only way to cure zombie is the holy water. I mean, there are other ways. Shadow becomes our first party member to break 2k HP. And he masters Quetzality, which gives him a speed I don't... Like, every time I say it, I'm like, did that used to be on Palador? I don't think so. I thought you only got speed off Raiden. Doesn't mean it's not true. We'll go on Golem here. Nothing like a little bit of stamina. Stamina, a very unimportant stat. Maybe this chest will have something in it. A teleport stone. It did have something in it. I was actually joking. Because you expect all the... You expect everything to not have stuff in it here. This party with Bumrush, Mimic, Bumrush, and Shurikens is, of course, and with Realm backing whenever she wants to break out the real magic. You know, we get it done. A true end-game powerhouse. That's our 7. Basically, as soon as you get Bumrush, it's all over Baby Blue, because it's got a huge multiplier, it doesn't miss. The only thing is that you have to, like, do it properly, but how much of an obstacle is that really going to be? Empty! Oh no! Oh, they get healed by it. Of course they do. It's a fire cave. Yeah, but you tried to hit Realm with some magic. Good luck there. This party is the madman, right? This party gets it done. Chomp. This party is so much stronger than the other one. Here, we're just gonna double Gale, which should kill all the small guys. I think. The great thing about the auto battler is it does your previous blitz input, so once you do it, you don't have to keep on doing the blitz all game, right? As engaging as it is to put the same inputs in over and over. Shadow's level 32, a very respectable level. A chest. Ooh, I wonder what's inside. We're just, you know, trying to get our stealing on. You know, when you don't have one thief, Gogo's as good as it gets. This should pop them all. No, almost though. Like, we're gonna get a steal out of this. Bum, bum, bum. And we have obtained 500,000 gil over the course of our playthrough. I am told this by an achievement. My favorite kind of thing. I love little achievements like that. They're my... I said they're my favorite. They are my favorite. I love them. I love when a game is like, you've defeated 5 billion enemies. Alright. Time for the weaker party, or as I call it, the other party. Now, whoever gets Sabin, you know, we should have put Shadow in the other group. It'll be fine. Oh, they've gravitied the zombie. Good for them. Hey, Edgar finally got his shield out about it. That's good. Some would call it a little late to the party, but we get the strike on him. Like, no, don't hit Edgar again. He learned his lesson. I mean, some of his lesson. I mean, Cyan's real good, though. Cyan's just, like, not quite Shadow because he can't direct the big single target damage like Shadow can. And he doesn't have the, you know, interceptor evasion. You know, everybody's strong in a different way, right? We'll just take this one for a few battles till we learn this, you know. It's a pretty important pickup after all. But if either party's at a save point on these party splits, then you can use a tent, is how it used to be. We're moving along, you know, we're moving it along. And here we've got, you know, a classic, we know we can bio them setup. Although, maybe... You know, depending on how the runic stacks up, it may not hit anything at all. We're gonna try. go. The thing about Runic, too, is it's also healing your own magic points up, so it's a great way for Celis to get throughput. Because you get the same amount of MP as they would have gotten, as they would have used. So they use it and you gain it. It's just a pure drain and a protection from whatever they get. But, you know, depending on the timings, it's not going to work every single time. But here, you know, we got 60 MP through the course of the battle and, you know, ended up going revenue positive on it. Feels good. Just what we want to see. We're not too far away. I was like, leave? No. And we'll hit them with a 1, 2, 3, you know. Strong party trying to live up to their name. Realm becoming even more of a monster. Hey, it's not me doing it. I need these Aga spells, right? There's only a couple of ways to get the Aga spells. The magicite we get at the end of this cave gives you Firaga, but I'm pretty sure Blizzaga and Thundaga you only get from Tritok, or Valagormanda, as they are called here. I'm not sure what that name is supposed to be. I don't recognize it from, you know, literature or anything. That doesn't mean it isn't there. Boom. Getting to the first save point. Clutch. It doesn't let us use the tent here. That's okay. This party's in the better shape anyway. Yeah, a crit shuriken for 5.5. Yeah. And then, of course, we have ultra tanky My Girl Realm. Immune to status effects. Over 100 magic evade. What a champ. And the punchiest of all the people that we've got. A very strong party indeed. Mike, yeah, and it totally remembers that the last thing we did with him was Bum Rush, which saves us all the effort of doing it ourselves. And this party just crunches through, right? In much the same way that the other party doesn't. It just gets it all the way done. Keymaster's Golem, why not get some nice Midgar Samar? And this is a little jumpy puzzle, right? It's not really a puzzle. It is cool because later, when you drain it, you get to see what the cave's like with it gone. Disaster? Oh no! Oh, it turned him into a crazy imp. He's having a really bad time now. Everything's wrong with my man. Oh my god, you're joking! The instant kill on Striker popped Sapin. That's too funny. Brutal stuff. But nothing a nice remedy can't fix for an hour or two. Empty? How could this be? I say ironically. Has someone been here before? I don't remember which way we're supposed to go now. Did we do that wrong? No. Gogo's mug chances. She's like always not stealing, but hey, you know. It's important to try. Hey, a phoenix down, glorious! I love those things. Stealing a single item from a single enemy makes every mug that didn't work before then totally worth it. And Realm continues getting totally juiced. 71 magic. My freaking stars. That's so many magic, y'all. Because now at 2300 HP, right, it's way different to get hit with the 1k needles for Shadow. He can live through 2 of them. And he just has lived through 2 of them. No, not here. should be getting him down on this attack sequence, I think. 2 of them fall here? No, just 1, and then the auto crossbow should get him after a tick of the bio, right? Yeah. I mean, you don't want to be too parsimonious with your resources. I mean, the save point for this crew is just around the corner anyway, but Stealth Masters that, and yeah, why not a nice little, you know, we're never going to use these things from Siren, but that doesn't matter. She's got enough good stuff at the moment anyway. And now we'll hit this, and it'll open up the thing for the other party. Here we're gonna Bioblaster him. It'll heal the one guy, but he's not hurt yet, and it'll at least get the poison ticking on the other ones. And we're just gonna try to Runic to eat like a Graviga or something, hopefully, while we... Nope. Well, we missed the Graviga entirely. He missed his chainsaw, though. That's right, chainsaw can miss. He uses gravity on a person with 100 hit points. Good job, buddy. Smart. Oh, and then with the steel chair. Fire onto the ice shield does 0 damage. Calyptes is here. Oh no. But they don't like to be cold, and we know that about them, so we're just gonna come in and, you know, now that we've got them poisoned, it won't be too long before they start falling like flies, or chaos dragons, as the case may be. Falling like chaos dragons, that's just the thing people say about chaos dragons. Shimshiro, no, that's a percentile attack there. That's a little gravity that isn't a gravity. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. And a speed from a level, which is just so crazy, right? Speed is not a thing that you should be able to modify in this game. It really is too good. Small agility differences are already pretty noticeable. And while I don't condone power leveling in this game, I do condone power leveling in this game, and everybody should do it to see how cool it is. At least once. And we get another ribbon. which we give to Terra so that she will never be harmed. No, which we give to Terra because thunder here, ice. Yeah, thunder's fine. Give to Terra because Celis is the one who's got the Force Armor and the Zephyr Cloak, and therefore losing. You don't want to lose the haste. The haste is super important for every application in the game. So we don't want to lose the 10 Zephyr Cloak because every point of evasion is worth more than the previous point, as we all know. As we all know. Man, double shot. I think they counter magic with it, right? But not every time. Anyway, they were definitely like, you in particular, Terra. I've had it with you in particular. $3K Shuriken, Shadow so good. And here you get to talk to each other, because this is where you get to decide, you know, who goes forward and who doesn't. Who can mess with the little fire dragon there. But this party just goes nuclear on things, right? This isn't like, we don't play games like that other one did. Thundara there wasn't the right move, right? Because the right move would have been to do Lazara if we knew it was going to him. We were trying to pop the Necromancer first, before he got away with a move like this. Hey, hey, Autumn. Yes, indeed, the Red Dargan. Good morning, Autumn. Good to see you. Had some fits and starts with our other party. You know, the party that doesn't have Bum Rush and Shadow. Forever the other party. You know, on the face of it, a beloved and awesome party, right? Terra, Celis, Edgar, Cyan, good stuff, but when you compare it to the glory that is a 109 Magic Evasion realm, plus Sap and Gogo and Shadow, I mean, you can see which party's got the juice. You know, only in the mid-30s, or early 30s, mid-30s now. We came in, I think, at level, like, 29. But I'm like, wait, we're going the wrong way. We need to go and get the Red Dragon. we do it with the bad party here? It's not a bad party at all. This party, you know, we... Backward, buddy. Yeah, that's, it's basically the way... Just because otherwise, because I'm playing without grinding very much, even though, like, normally when I play, you know, I'm very grind happy, like, my typical way of playing, if I'm just, like, playing by myself and, you know, having a time, I'll just, like, level up and master, like, every Esper when I get it sort of thing. But, you know, when you're trying to go into this cave at level 28, it's important to reduce damage how you can, even if you're dealing with, like, 1k needles and stuff, but yeah. It's just magic or specials is how it basically goes for everyone. And then, you know, Mug from Gogo, because you gotta get your thievery on, right? I'm like, I mean, there's no reason not to tackle the dragon with this party. Let's let them have a little bit of glory, right? They can do it. Yeah, it's like I alternate. I love an auto attack, right? But you know, you gotta. If you're trying to move fast, you gotta lean into what's good, or at least that's my theory on it. So you know, back row, high magic evasion, or ultra high magic evasion in the case of Realm. Because you go, you know, 99, I swear at 99 they still hit you all the time. But 109, now you're talking. We, the skeleton thing, I can't remember its name, in the Veld Cave where you rescue Shadow, where you get the Tiger Claw off that fight, because we got that one quite under-leveled, and it just did the Atomic Ray like 50 times, but we had somebody that negated the fire damage. And Realm died from, like, Doom because I didn't have a Rimid on her. It looks like almost all the enemies here down in 2-0. Oh! You know, never would have thought to check. There's only a couple enemies where I've, like, rasped them to death as, like, a move. Because you can do that to Atma, right? And I remember thinking that was, like, not a necessary, but, like, a very classy way to deal with that puzzle. Alright, this should be fine. I mean, what's the worst that'll happen, right? Yo! Have you ever met Terra? She's a lady. Because for all that the other party's got juiced power, I mean... This party's not a slouch. It's just not, like, totally bonkers like a mimicked Bumrush is, but... I mean, a morphed Blizzara on this fight, not too far off. And we're gonna see if we live through this, yeah. We're gonna keep on dishing the damage out with the ladies. Wipe yourself off, you're bleeding. And then all falls down. I quite like Terra showing up to murk the dragons, right? It's very classy. You know, game recognizes game and all of that, as the saying goes. Murakumo! Murakumo. Now, we lose the evasion, but of course, also sort of a huge attack boost. I think the sword art isn't based on the weapon strength, though. And with Cyan, there's literally never an occasion to auto-attack. It's sort of like Edgar and Tools or Sabin with blitzes, right? There's never an occasion to use your regular attack when your specials don't cost any resources. It's supposed to be unstoppable to learn level 3 magic. You can buy a bunch of ice rods. Oh, yeah. The rods still do giant damage. Dragon Horn! This is the one that changes to jump? Yeah. Where you just jump, 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 jump. The Spirit of the Dragoon. The Tempest would slash everything. Yeah, you know, and that is good. I would consider it even, like, totally doable, especially until you get, Flurry. Well, where the thing is about how sword art has been changed, right? Now that you just select it rather than having to wait it to charge up, it's just dramatically more useful than it ever had been in the past. Because it used to be you only used level 1, right? And you used Retort for, you know, a battle where Cyan was by himself, or whatever Retort is called now. You know what I mean. Level 2, Retort. Autumn, you know what I mean. You're an old hat like me. When I say Retort, you know the one. They call it Sky in this, but we know what it's really called. Of course, you can't get Blitz less expensive. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just so nice. Seeing the blitzes, I mean, it's fine. You don't really forget them when you're going, right? But it's nice to see, oh, I messed up. And also, like, I'm using the Xbox controller, but, like, the diagonals being present on here, because my way of doing the blitzes was always, you know, like, you know, you just duplicate for the diagonals. Left, left, up, up, right, right, down, down, left, A. You know, bam, there's your bum rush. But now, like, sometimes I'll be trying to do it and I'll accidentally hit the 8-way diagonal, and the game tells you that you've done it, you know, so, I mean, I probably had, what, 5 incorrect blitz inputs the whole time, which used to be the balance for how strong it was, and now you're just like, haha. But no, for a while with Celis, I was even using the Genji glove with enhancers to pump her magic, but we still had her on the back row. Because I think double enhancer is fine. I think you can run Genji glove enhancer to the end of the game. I think the magic boost plus the magic evade off of it. Enhancer's a crazy good sword to be able to buy it at a shop, right? If it was a one-of in the game, it would still be good enough. They just need to make the weapon strength a little higher. But because 20 magic evade is no slouch at all, and 7 magic is gigantic. So, but that's what we were running with her for a hot minute. But then, you know, eventually the defense that you get from the shield becomes pretty important. So we sort of moved away from the edge glove, and also we wanted to get boots on or sandals on everybody. for speed, and then Zephyr Cloak is just so good when you're running evasion anyway. Luck! And of course, we needed this party to be here. Magic Wave is broken in the original. It's still pretty broken now, right? I mean, there's some stuff that it doesn't hit, but in general, it's the best of the best of the best. He jumps. You're all safe! I finally found it, the legendary treasure that can undo death itself. Is that magicite? It is. Legend has it that the phoenix turned itself to stone ages ago. It seems the story was true. But now it's filled with cracks. I don't know if it still has the strength to perform miracles. And Sella says, Locke, that's for Rachel, isn't it? Rachel, I failed her. I broke my promise and lost the only thing that was real to me. So until I do what I said I'd do, until I restore my honor, I'm nothing but a no-good liar. The world's last phoenix down, right? So you're headed to Cullingan? And so too are we. The village of Cullingan. Oh, Locke. How long we can hold on to something that isn't there. The old man. If only it didn't have all those nasty cracks. Don't think it's going to be calling back any wayward spirits like that. Nope, nuh-uh. Too bad, really. Too bad. Thanks, unfeeling old man. How'd you even get in that mountain without an airship? Yeah, you know, You see, there was an African swallow that was flying over, and he grabbed onto the talons, you know. Then they gripped him by the bandana and then dropped him in. And then that same bird, of course, only became disentangled from the bandana somewhat later. Bandana on Locke's head, not pictured. I've always loved the phoenix flash of the background there. I thought that was a cool effect whenever I was a kid, and I think it's a cool effect now. God, the magicite shattered! How do you know what a magicite is, old man? Did you get like a 30-second primer? Luck! Rachel! She says, Locke, oh how I've wanted to see you, to talk to you. Rachel, the Phoenix used the last of its power to give me some time, but I must leave again soon. Before my time is gone, there's something I must tell you, something I never had a chance to say. Locke, you made me so happy. In my last moments, my memory returned. I drifted off thinking of you, and I was truly, truly happy. Just let me say now the words I never had a chance to say. Locke, thank you. Best of all, on the side of the mountain there, through the bottom right. Lava everywhere. He had his fire shield on. She says, I have to go now, but thank you so much for all the happiness you've given me. Please cut free from the chains that bind your heart. You ever loved the one who has that place within your heart now? Love her as you loved me. Phoenix, be reborn, and give your power to Locke. Good stuff. And the phoenix flies away. So says Locke. I'm alright. Rachel put my heart at ease. From here on out, everything will be okay. Let's go. We have a job. We've got a job to do. What is it? Where's my treasure, Locke? The Valiant Knife and the Flame Shield. These are all the treasures from the Phoenix Cave. Except that one with the spikes in front of it that we didn't open. Alright, let's get going. I think we've kept Kefka waiting long enough. So, there we have the conclusion of that arc, right? Which is one that always hit me very heavily. You know, it hit me as a kid, and it hits me now because, you know, Locke's like the thread tying the first and the second halves of the game together, right? He's the one who has the personal relationship with both Terra and Celis, and he's the one whose relationship with the past is the most important besides the two of theirs. For game reasons, it makes sense for him not to take an Irrigare. Sure, he's very silly, he's unequipped for that whole dungeon. Indeed, you know, he should have just had, like, the generic thieves bracer sort of stuff, you know, so that if you sold it or whatever, then you would, you know, have another set of it there. I feel like that would be fine. And then, you know, you could call it a treasure hunter's set. But so, you know, we meet Locke, second of the story characters, and his role in Terra's story is to be this sort of, like, really vague protector. Like, we don't know much about Locke when we first meet him, when he's interacting with Terra. We learn more about him as we go, right? And then it gets fully entangled with the Celis storyline, whose experience can't really be disentangled from Locke. You know, Locke saves Celis' life. And Locke falls in love with Celis as well, but this problem, although Locke wouldn't phrase it this way, of Rachel hangs over everything that he does. His feelings of inadequacy, his worries of betrayal if he should actually love somebody else while she is still alive in whatever state. And really, this is the only way that his arc can conclude in a satisfying way, because bringing his girlfriend back from the dead, while that would be sort of cool for him and maybe for her, wouldn't be so good for the rest of the story. After all, it would be hard to get him to leave. But you know, I really like Locke. I like Locke principally as an extension of how much I love Celes as a character. Celes is my favorite character in anything. And I'm not opposed to romance generally as a story element. I just think it should be done right, and it rarely enough is. But what I like about the romance between Celes and Locke, such as it is that it is incredibly subdued, right? It exists like almost all interpersonal relationships in this game exists in the background of the overarching story, because, of course, the literal end of the world, such as it is more important than all this other junk that you've got going on. Alright, so what are we doing now? We need to... Doma. Now, there's only one appropriate party to bring to Doma, and that's your 3 magical girls and the guy who needs to go there. Considered romance is our Japanese cultural thing. Well, I approve. Because, like, I like that one of Celes's core character problems is, like, wondering whether or not she can be loved in the aftermath of the person that she was forced to be. And trying to disentangle the way she was coerced as a child into becoming a soldier, a warrior, a murderer. And how much of that is her and how much of that is what was done to her. These are all fascinating things, and I like that they don't just say, okay, like in a Dragon Age type of scene, we're like, all right, that's your girlfriend now. You know, I like that even with all of this done, all that does is free up the emotional bandwidth for her to wonder what the future might be like, while they stay relatively laser focused on what has to be done in order to, you know, make the world a better and more livable place. But speaking of sad things, let's go to Doma. So, yeah, we're in great shape here, and then we can just give you a special shield. And throw what, a force shield on him? Yeah, no reason not to. That'll work a treat. Alright, well... Alright. The Phoenix Magicite. Let's go ahead and get on that. And Realm will very soon finish that off, and then we can get Celes on there. Because really, Fire 3 and then, you know, 1 August spell is basically enough, but... I like how Doma looks all clean. That's good. Got a deathless run on that, so let's skip with a little. Nice! Right. You know, I wouldn't have even seen the grind pun if you hadn't pointed out, so thank you. Let's rest for a bit. What could go wrong? Wake up, Cyan. I'm Laragorn. I'm Kurlex. I'm Mobius. These aren't really their names. They're the three Dream Stooges. The Spencil is ours. The Spencil is ours. The Spencil is ours. Larry, Curly, and Mo here are about to bon appetit. Bon appetit. A very French set of Stooges. Practice all the levels on that difficulty. Gonna be a big voice video next week during the final challenge. Awesome, awesome. I look forward to checking it out. Bum 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 bum. I'm like, oh, I went the wrong way. Great! Oh, they berserked me. Like, I don't even think it'll let me run, right? Yeah. Anyway, I think we might have lost. Might have to reload. But we might live through it. The poison will probably die. Should have put a ribbon on. Yeah, should have put a ribbon on. Not while you're berserked. You can't run. It was letting me do it while it was first on me, but then once the game woke up to the fact that I was berserked, it wouldn't let me do it again. So we chose the worst possible door. Followed us all the way into this guy's dream. I better not fight you until I've had my brothers with me. Ciao for now. Alright. Now we can do something. Amazing how not going the totally wrong way is functional. Realm's got a ribbon on, but that won't protect her from death. That protects her from other stuff. Could do like memento ring on her too, but then alright, of course. Theoretically, not as difficult a place as the Phoenix Cave, but in practice, a much more difficult place than the Phoenix Cave. Safety, yeah. And of course, she could wear a memento ring instead of the Zephyr, which... Like, I'm sure I'm glad that your roulette can't hurt your own people, jerks. Boom! We're the Dream Stooges, and we're all together now. There's no escape for you! Oh no. What'll I do? I don't remember who's weak to what. Not that. Oh, well, smart. It's like, why do I feel like I'm supposed to have a reflect ring on? I was scared of the damage, and I was like, wait, we're just gonna block all of it, right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just pop him, put him in the dirt. Like, good job doing 0 damage, bro. Like, do I know a reflect in order to throw this onto him? Nope. Too bad. Whoops. Well. You know, maybe we should have brought 7, right? Maybe we should have done. Thanks for the heal, bro. Yeah, I don't think anybody knows reflect. Yeesh. Yeah, you know, we might have put ourselves into a big corner that we can't get out of here. Might have come in here with a totally non-functional party. I was just thinking about the next section of the dream. I didn't think about this one. And how we literally wouldn't be able to do anything. Well, I guess you just get an eternal game over. Can you even teleport out of here? We might have actually hard-locked ourselves. I don't know if we can win this fight. Well, I guess we leave and learn reflect. That's what you do. You leave and learn reflect, and then you can do it. Because I guess we can try to just auto-attack them down, but that guy heals for 999. We can't get through it, right? Or if they're MP, well, it really doesn't even matter. I'm not that worried about them doing damage, right? Because Realm's maxed and, Turned her to stone. We got 2 ribbons in the party at least. Rowan runs out of a... Yeah, you know. True. And they're not doing well at doing damage. How did Fira hit Rome with 109 magic evasion, bro? Make it make sense. Like, one guy, White Wind, for 9999, the other guy, Kira, for 430. But, you know, they can't do enough damage to get through. Probably put him in the front row, too. Oh, yeah, good call. Alright, auto attacker has her doing cure. What a shambles. But, you know, this just goes to show how you can bring the absolutely wrong party. Any one single actual fighter, Cyan, Edgar, Sabin, Shadow, any of them, any one of them in this group. Well, Cyan's not here, right? Yeah. But I was just thinking about the Magitech section, and, yeah, just... You know, what trash, you know. What an embarrassment this party is. Through Sketch 4, probably nothing ever. Sketch fails, like, every time I've ever used the Sketch command in this game, every time, except for Ultros, I've regretted it. I honestly think the Sketch command is there to just fail. Or to do as much damage as an auto attack. I don't believe in the Sketch command. I just like Rome because she has great gear she can wear and good magic. Is it Shilnarod? Yes, she is. She's wearing Magistrate. I guess they just let you do it now. need to get some more MP on Celos. And of course they aren't cooperating. If they do another White Wind, then they'll be back up. But if they don't, I think we'll get them down one of these seconds. Hey, we're gonna win! Glorious. What an agonizing battle, right? We did it! Man. Alright, so remember kids, don't take this party here. Just always bring Sabin. Just always bring Sabin. Don't ever leave him at home. Let my stupidity be a lesson to you. Yeah, Ultima, we haven't picked up Ultima yet, of course, because we just got Locke and then we didn't go back to Narshe. This guy's weak to something stupid like wind. Two hours later. Anyway, don't ever use a party like this, guys. Bring a fighter. Don't forget how the game works. I think her shield makes her take double thunder damage. Sounds right. And Cyan jumps through. He falls down. He is remembering. He is starting to remember. there's the very hungry box. That's so annoying. Sometimes I'm trying to remember what spell to use. I'm like, does it look like they'll get cold? Wait, what? Okay, so... Oh, they did the thing. Like, it doesn't even show us the status effect. I think it's only physical attacks. Hey, Mendicman! Good morning. We are within Cyan's dream. We're trying to help him come to terms with, you know, the deep, unalterable sadness that he just has to learn how to deal with. Because a lot of characters in this game, it's a story of, you know, how they learn to, you know, make something new in their lives. But Cyan just needs to learn how to say goodbye. Yes. Yes, it is fun. We somehow got through a boss fight a little bit ago that was a special little bit of agony. She slapped me. She tried to slap herself, didn't work. I feel like this guy's gonna absorb poison, but good time to check. Nope, doesn't do it. Probably takes half damage from it, though. It's still fine. If the poison ticks on him, it's still something. Yeah, poison tick for 420. Great. Here, we'll just get Kiraga later because we need to get her on this train of the Yagas. Because really what we're trying to do is, the reason we're bringing all of them right now is to get them ready for the Tower of Magi, right? Because that's like the biggest obstacle before you go. So I need them to level up. I need them to get levels and powerful skills so that we can tackle the tower before it's all said and done. it's like, don't we get a Genji Glove over there? We do. We do get a Genji Glove over there. Genji Glove, of course, one of the cooler things in the game, lets you double up on weapons. Now, how useful is that? It depends. A lot of characters don't really need another weapon, right? Where, you know, mages typically are gonna want to shield more. But they can be very good, and you know, it's been a while since we've been doing some auto attacks, and maybe they do okay. I think that was a crit, though, they hit for the 1600. Still, you know, it's fine. Maybe it's time to go into the front row now that we're in the mid-30s. Maybe. It's gonna take courage. Although we do take twice as much physical damage, I mean, really, that's more important when you only have, like, 1,000. When you have 2K, it's a whole different proposition getting hit for 400 or 500, right? Yeah. A fine time to swap to auto attacks in the front row. Which we could keep on doing spells, but honestly, I don't remember where the next save point is, and we're gonna run low on stuff if we're not careful. Move that over, which lets us move in like so, and get another ice shield. But they end up... I usually wear an enhancer for, like, the whole game. Because the magic evade's real good, and 7 magic is crazy good. And now we can move through this way. And rotate. No, not like that. We gotta... I messed it up. Oh, they dropped her. And Realms had it. Drops Firaga, does some damage. It never feels worth it to do the Agas, right? Because they cost so much. And, you know, you can use a gold hairpin for half MP cost, which is like a way to live your life. But at that point, just get the economizer and cast for 1. And at that point, you've trivialized every aspect of the game, and now you're casting Ultima for 1, and nothing matters. Now we can go around. Like, show me the poison tick. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That seeing that 170 pop up. That's why we do what we do. That's what keeps us coming back for more. And those are the chest orders from earlier, and you're just, you know, supposed to remember them like the game tells you. Like the game tells you to do. And now, the main event, Magitech armor time again? Question mark. Cyan, of course, is very afraid of machinery. And Terra, you have to bring Terra here because she still has all of her cool moves. But this is why you bring the girls here, right? It's so much fun. You get to just Magitech things to your heart's content. And it's like, wait, didn't we just do this loop? This all seems familiar. It's because we've been here before. Terra learns Furiaga, which is the most important thing out of Phoenix. Re-Raise is real good too, and Arise is fine, and Furiaga's good. But you know, we probably stick with it until we get the Furiaga and Arise, just because Arise is really quite good. You know, Raise 2, bringing somebody back with full HP is a very different proposition than throwing a Phoenix down on, right? These guys are weak to thunder, so you know, you just drop it down. And then you can do this for, like, as long as you feel like doing it, right? But at some point you're like, man, I really am in a loop, huh? This is a guy called Schmidt. He flies in a little, flying Magitech armor. I mean, awesome, right? But Schmidt dies the same as everybody else does. To uproarious applause. And, you know, to a thunder beam. Bum, bum, bum. And then you're like, maybe we should go backwards. But here, because you've got Magitech access and you know, everything else, you can do that loop as much as you want. Then you're like, what if I go backwards? And it's like, oh, well, that will lead you forward. No. Please save my husband. Save Cyan. Where are we? What is this place? You're inside Cyan's mind. My husband Cyan continues to torment himself over what happened to Doma, what happened to the world, and what happened to us. The depth of his despair caused a monster known as Wrexsoul to latch on to him. Wrexsoul is formed from the countless souls lost during the conflict 1,000 years past. They're hurting my dad! Help him! Please, help Cyan. You have to help Dad. So the point of the reflect rings is so you can deal with problems. Now, does it stop you from healing yourself? Yeah. But what if you didn't care about that? Reflect rings are also a very, very accessible and fun way to deal with the Tower of Magi. But we're going to try not to do it for it when we eventually go. I don't think we're doing that today. I don't know if we'll have enough time. I'm probably just going to wrap this up and then call it a time. Masters Quetzali. And yeah, she doesn't even know Asuna yet. Yeah, we'll do one battle there and she'll learn it. Must be Wrexsoul. Let Cyan go. You're too late. This man can't escape me. He is overcome by despair at his own powerlessness. Evil F added, I am fed by his sorrow, his anger, and his hate, and now I shall partake of yours as well! I'll possess one of your bodies. Perhaps I'll return this form once you've expired. Oh, right. They like fire. I was just doing it because that was the aura I had. Let's do a juiced bio on him, right? Oh, it did double there. Because it triples the reflect, right? So if you do it on the bulk, I'm pretty sure you get more damage out of it this way. Because it does 3 times the hit. But then Furies... I'm like, wait, that didn't bring him back. Was I supposed to be paying attention to who he, Alright, we just... This isn't a way to intimidate him out. And here, the bad side of high evasion, when you need to pop one of your characters and can't. Nope, wrong one. Great, it's Rome, the hardest one to hit. Is it the most annoying fight in the game? Probably. Probably. Maybe definitely. but we, you know, we might have... Yeah, we might have backed ourselves into essentially a hard-locked corner here. I should not have taken this party. Yeah, I don't... You know, we're gonna try. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, though. Might not be able to. Might be getting him now. You know, one of the EOs a really good rage trail? I did not. I confess that my Gao rages are very elementary in knowledge. I'm like, stray cat, lesser Lapras, good to go. That one angle form always makes your eyes weird. No, anytime I step away, it's like anytime I use, you know, a dance that I'm supposed to use, and then it just doesn't work at all. And then, alright. Flare Storm. Ah! That does sound good, and now we've... Finally getting some damage in. Man, oh man, oh man. You know, it's enough to make you miss casting Vanish Doom on a man, you know? Like, it is enough to make you miss Vanish Doom. I think X-Zone, but yeah. Say, I think for this fight, you'll make everybody vulnerable to stone, just break them instead of beating them up. Can't use yeah. You know, the point of this party, principally, was to get some experience and magic points for them so we can tackle the magic tower. And we did that, but man, bringing, like, Shadow would have helped a million. You know, we could have just shurikened a guy, you know. I thank you all. But, anyway, we get it done. A couple of super rough boss fights, right? Like, very, very rough grind fests, but that's why you buy 4 reflect rings whenever you remember to buy them, so that eventually you'll get them. Thought I could hear my wife and son calling out to me. Their voices gave me the strength to hold on. Elaine! Owen! Thank you, my love. You really are strong, Dad! No, I cannot do anything. Not then, and not now. You're wrong. You've always had more than enough for all of us. Since my beloved will always be with you. Alexander! Dad, I love you. Please wait. They've been waiting a long time already. Ba-bum-bum. Long Cyan sets her all doing with tough loved ones, indeed. And, you know, Sabin and Edgar's story, the core of that is also the same. You know, it's them dealing with the death of their father. You know, there's one of the, like, the random NPCs you run into, I forget which one it is, but they say something along those lines, like, yeah, you know, anybody that's crazy enough to stand up in this world must have lost everything, type of thing. But, yeah. You know, it takes a great deal of courage to stand up for what's right when it puts you into danger. It takes even more to do it when you can look around and see the world of ruin, where it's not just standing up to the Empire anymore, it's standing up to Kefka, who is far more terrifying, far more terrible, and far more powerful than the Empire ever dreamed of being. But that's why we're a bunch of heroes. Cyan says, I can no longer dwell in the past. I must follow the road, which I believe to be right. Cyan purged his mind of confusion and doubt and learned Bushido techniques. His swordsmanship attained its peak level. That's right. Peak. But what you really do is just Tempest, right? Because Flurry's good, but Tempest is like the better move of that. Oblivion is like an insta-kill on everybody. You don't use that one. Get our boots back on them. There's basically nothing as important in the game as not sprint shoes. I call them sprint shoes. Sprint shoes make you run fast. You can get that by hitting this button now. They are the most important thing in the game, the sprint shoes. But with Locke, Cyan, and Setzer, as you say, it's interesting that the one who had the most healthy relationship with his loved ones, Cyan, has the most disordered response to their loss, right? Not that Setzer's coping mechanisms were good and not that Locke's were good at all, but Cyan, I mean, quite literally loses himself multiple times in his grief. But of course, a wife and child are far more of a loss, although suffering is not compared to other suffering, right? But it makes sense that Cyan would have the hardest time coming to terms with what had been taken from him. See, speaking of Sandstad, the twins' designer wrote a official about their backstory and parents. Figaro and Tales from the Desert. Cool. I will maybe try to check that out someday. Because, you know, the navigation of loss and mistreatment of your place in the world, that's the core of basically all of the heroes of the game. You get people like Mog, who is more motivated by, you know, the desire to help his friends. And Gao is the same, and Umaro and Gogo, you know, like what we would think of as the minor non-story characters. Because although Gao, we know what's going on with him due to his nature, there's only so far we can go, right? Gao's never going to get to confront his awful father. Gao's not that kind of guy. Gao loves us and we're his friends and he's gonna fight for the world, but Gao's understanding of Kefka is not much different than Umaro's conception of Kefka, right? Gao is feral. Gao is a person, but he shares less with humans than he does with the animals of the veldt that he feels so comfortable with. What Gao has lost can't be restored to him. The Mughals are gone too. What Mog's lost can't be restored to him. In that regard, Mog has lost dramatically more than Cyan, say, because for what we know, all of the Mughals are gone. He might be the last. But he doesn't let that get to him, and he never complains. Because Mog knows that dancing is really what it's all about anyway. When you're in the castle part of the dream, there's 3 sections on the outdoor. We can see no reason playing with the way. That's right. We missed going to there. We went straight to the front. Alright, so what remains? Ebon's Rock. We gotta do Ebon's Rock. And there's like a chocobo forest here, right? We just need to walk into it to get it from the map. Yes. Beyond that, it's just Kefka's Tower to be the last location. Yeah, so, Ebon's Rock, and then we need to go to the secret castle beneath the land. Oh yeah, we need to grab the stuff from Narshe. Strago's thing. Walk in Narshe, pick up Ultima, go to the tower. Oh yeah, Doomgaze. We still have to crack Doomgaze. We hardly have a party for that. Or rather, a setup for it. The party's just fine now. Mid-30s, I mean, you can beat the game at 34. It's just a little trickier than doing it at 50, right? The suit is really good. Already is invisible by 5, right? Well, Locke is here. Yeah, we'll just do Doomgaze later. We should at least go in here and get this stuff taken care of, right? Gives us the little wink. There's not anything in most of the places, right? But in the weapons place the guy's got his bed, something like that. Locke's getting his potions. That's great. So many potions. This Mastodon's called Lucavi? Lucavi, but not Lucavi like in FFT, right? He doesn't look like a Lucavi to me, although he does have purple eyes and big tusks. If he was taller, I could see it. Here, the most important conversation a person can have. I've been waiting for you. I wanted to give you this. I ran a weapon shop for 70 years, but I never felt a power like the one I feel in this stone. If I were to ground it down to the shape of a blade, I'm sure it would make a very powerful weapon. What do you say? We'll say, let's leave it as the magicite, buddy. Of course, there's the shield, but we don't have the shield. How old is this man? Very old. And then it's like, and now, here you go, the last suit you'll ever wear. Older than Strago, yeah. Ancient. Just call him old man. It's like, I've got a name. You don't have to just call me old man. Don't know your name. I'm I'm called Dennis. Alright then, Dennis. It's like, yeah, you can just walk in here. You don't need to break in. The Elder isn't home. There should be more stuff to read on the bookshelves. I've always thought this. But I finally... Oh, I'm excited about this. So, a big reason why I've been cracking more at FF6, not just because I love the game and I like playing it and listening to music and stuff, but I've been trying to wrap it up so that I can get on to another game, because I finally got Dragon Age Origins to work on this computer, because this computer is too modern, right? If you have Dragon Age Origins on Steam, you know you can't boot it without doing some stuff. It was a simple, 6-step process to getting it working. Say there's really weird glitches in the first you go on PC. Ooh! Then you get the sword and the Esper, fun. Or recruit Leo and Kefka, even more fun. In an insane way. Oh, Strago literally needs Maduin so bad to finish these up. Because the thing, you can play in and they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll take him in. And then you realize your secondary party has actually no magic at all. Like, oh no, we were trying to teach him something and then we got distracted. Give me... Cough. Here, take it. The cursed shield. If only there were a way to lift the curse, it would be the finest shield in the world. Well, you know what that means, Celis. Time for you to wear the worst shield in the world for a while. But then when it becomes the best shield, it will be your shield. How long? Oh, 255 fights. Straight with the 2 rock thorns. Nice! Nothing like the old stone. Yeah, of course the Doom is on her, but that's fine. You're always gonna finish a random battle in enough time, right? Does this version tell you how many curse times? No, you just gotta play forever. Now, the best way to get rid of the curse shield, as all men know, and is to go to the beginning island and then just fight the things there that die immediately. But it's dramatically better to actually play the game while you're decursing it. Both because it makes you feel like you've earned the Paladin shield, like it matters, earned. But because, you get stuff done while you're doing it. And after all, isn't that what it is all about? But yeah, so the Curse Shield, it gives you every bad malady. You have to wear a ribbon with it, basically, and that just leaves Doom. And then... Alright, is there anything to do before... I'm like, we could bring the Celis Rome Strago stack into Ebon's Rock with, Sabin, right? Sabin or Shadow, one of the prime heavy hitters, or even Cyan now that he's got his stuff. And that would be... Yeah, we could do that. Not right now, though. Right now, it's actually getting to be that time. Yes, it certainly is. While I wish And I hope you believe me that I could sit around and play video games all day. I wish I had more money than I had. I know that's not really punk rock, but I need to pay my rent. So it is time to hang out with the dog and then get off to work. But I'll be back tonight playing something. Probably not more of this. You know, I try to mix it up a little bit, but I had a great time this morning. Although, I mean, Wrexsoul, what a frustrating fight, right? But, you know, at least we brought the reflect rings. Without the reflect rings, it's, well, a much more challenging thing with the party we brought, which was a bad party. But hey, we have goals, right? And the goal is to build towards the magic tower to where when we finish the stuff up, we've got plenty of very punchy stuff going on and we can go in and lay the beat down. And maybe we'll go to the dinosaur forest a bit. It's hard to say beforehand. It just depends on what we feel like we need. With great items and, you know, great power comes zero responsibility, so we're just going to churn through the enemies. But next time, probably Ebon's Rock, and then the castle beneath. Pick up Raiden and, you know, fight another dragon. And then, well, there won't be much besides to go into the tower, to attack and dethrone God and cast Kefka down. If anybody can do it, we can. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Really hope you've enjoyed. And, you know, some great emotional story beats this time. You know, for all that picking up, you know, Mog isn't that emotional, grabbing Locke definitely is. And they both tried, so you don't need to hold on to you. Okay, cool, yeah. I saw that they, because Palador, or Quetzali, whatever they call it now, has the speed on it. I'm like, that wasn't in the base game. Surely it wasn't, or I would have remembered. But that's cool. I'm glad they buffed it, because that was really annoying, right? To be like, am I supposed to upgrade it or not? But yeah, we'll get the good one. We'll be rolling around, casting Meteo in no time. Meteo? We'll be calling people Spoony Bards. We'll be doing it all. Strago's not Tella, but, you know, he's not really that much like Tella at all. But they do look alike. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I gotta get out of here. Later, Autumn, it was so good hanging out with you this morning. And I'm glad you could witness my triumph over Wrexsoul. And the Stooges, which was almost as tough of a fight, you know. Let it be a lesson to me in the future to not stack a party full of people that I want to level. You need one heavy hitter no matter what. You know, that's the rule, you know. That's why we go into the tower, you got Sabin in a party, and you got Shadow in a different party, and then you got, like, Edgar and Cyan in the other party. And then you give Gogo to Sabin, and then that party crushes everything. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're getting so far ahead of ourselves, there's a lot of gameplay to do before we go into Kefka's tower, after all. But that's all for me for right now. I'll see you guys later.